What a time to be alive, right? It's looking like the bears are winning from the bulls, but are they? That's what we're going to find out in this video, because you want to know whether or not it's a good time to buy crypto right now. And I'm going to show you the metrics that will help you scientifically get you an answer to that question. Let's go. So if we look at the chart of Bitcoin, we see that it has been declining. We had a previous all-time high of around 73,500, and currently it dipped to 61,500, and it's kind of coming back up again. Now, in order for us to understand what has happened in the market, we need to check the news, right? Because that's where we can find the information on what has happened. Because we are always late to the party, because we're not big financial institutions, so we have to get our news elsewhere. I'm going to use Decrypt for that, and I've got this article which says Bitcoin falls below $69,000 as Grayscale moves over 400 million in BTC to Coinbase. Now, what you can take out of this is that the producer price index has jumped 0.6% last month, and now I hear you saying like, oh, but I don't know what that is. Well, don't worry about that, because I got you covered. The producer price index measures the average change over time in the prices domestic producers receive for their output. It's a measure of inflation at a wholesale level that is compiled from thousands of indexes measuring producer prices by industry and product category. The index is published monthly by the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. If we go back, we also see that traders interpreted this data as a sign that the Federal Reserve might not cut interest rates in May, leading to a sell-off of digital assets in stocks. And then another thing that has happened was that around 400 million in Bitcoin was shifted by Grayscale to its custodian Coinbase, Arkham Intelligence showed. Now, I've covered Arkham Intelligence before on my channel. It's a very great platform. The reason for that is because you can have an overview on everything. So right now you can see BTC, SOL, you can see the returns distribution. But if you go to dashboard, you can actually create your own dashboard, which I've done. If you go to my dashboard, you can create a dashboard if you want to. I've created one of myself, which shows me the portfolio of Alex Becker, Elio Trades. I can see the Bitcoin price, Myria price, Fidium, Kronos, and Solana. These are all tokens and projects I'm invested in. And it also allows you to set up different dashboards, so you can have multiple dashboards. So here's one, for instance, which Arkham Intelligence has made themselves, which showcases all the Bitcoin ETF funds. So that way I can see what is going on there, how their positions are, and I can change my strategy according to that if needed, obviously. And then another reason why you should use Arkham Intelligence is because you can use this to do your own due diligence on projects or tokens or token holders, for instance. So if you go to Dextools, for instance, and then we have like, I've taken Floki as an example. I can see the buys and sells down here, but they also show the wallets, right? So I'm just going to click one wallet, which is recently sold. I'm going to copy that address, and then I'm going to go to Arkham Intelligence, and I'm going to paste it here, and that will show me this address, the holdings of this address. I don't know this person, so whoever this is, I wish you all the best. And then I can see what has happened to his portfolio or her portfolio. So we see on February 9th, it was actually very low, just like 600 euros or dollars. And currently it's around $7,500. So they did fairly well. It's like a 10x for their portfolio, but just remember that even though this looks like a 10x, it's probably because they've brought in more money, then purchased something else, and then gain from that, you know. So you can then follow this person. You can see everything that they are doing. You can automate this as well by creating alerts. I'll make a separate video about this, but this is a great tool, once again, to use as well. Okay, moving on to the news, because that's where we are here for. We want to know whether or not this is a good time to buy crypto right now due to the crash. And then I've got another article which says Bitcoin retreats below 65,000 ahead of big Fed day. What gives? Well, Bitcoin is down ahead of the Federal Reserve's meeting tomorrow, but it's likely the result of factors beyond the expectation that the central bank will not tinker with interest rates. They will reveal whether or not it will be cutting interest rates, which have been at a 23-year high sometime, and it is expected that the central bank will keep them where they are. Right? So they started raising rates in 2022 to mitigate that 40-year inflation rates. Risk on assets like stocks and crypto were negatively affected as investors retreated to the dollar. But then what's good to know is that it's not just the Fed rates, you know, because the recent decline in prices can be attributed to a combination of factors, Butterfield said, adding that the sudden drop on Tuesday on exchange BitMEX's Bitcoin prices likely contribute to the market's instability. Because what happened was, on BitMEX, Bitcoin crashed to around $8,400. So that was a huge flash crash. that shows some kind of instability, that gives some insecurity to some people, some investors, and that has a big impact on how people move within the crypto market as well. Okay, now that we've checked the news and we know kind of what is going on right now, because we're waiting for the Fed rates, what is going to happen with that, we see that the BitMEX price crash has happened. We see that the money was flowing into Coinbase from the Grayscale Trust. Now it's a good time to look at the liquidation and the liquidation levels, that is. I've got the liquidation heat map right here. You can see it yourself as well. It's on CoinGlass. It's a free website that you can use. And that basically shows you the levels where the liquidity is, right? So where a lot of longs or shorts are, or where a lot of buying or selling pressure is. Now, currently we're around 63,000. And please remember, I'm not a registered financial advisor, so don't follow my advice. I can't give you any advice on whether or not you should actually buy crypto. I can just show you the tools and the metrics that can help you make informed decisions. And that's also what my channel is about. So if you appreciate that, be sure to subscribe and help me on my journey to become a full-time content creator. Now, going back to the liquidation heat map, we see there's a lot of liquidation around the 66,000 mark. We see some around the 60,000 mark, but we don't see any liquidation happening around the 63,000 mark where we are at right now. So that basically means the price can go any type of way, right? It probably climbs up a little bit and then it either gets rejected or we're going back up again. And to have a better understanding of that and to see what actually is happening, we're not going to look at the liquidation heat map because this will only give us some insights on where the liquidation actually is, but we're going to move to the liquidation map. In the liquidation map, I've deselected the 100 times leverage and the 50 times leverage because not every exchange allows you to do 100 or 50x leverage. If you look at this map and we see the 25 and 10 times leverage on the BTC USD perpetual for the 1 day, so the daily, I'm using the daily, you see that there are no liquidation levels right here. We do have a liquidation right here, which is the long liquidation, and we do have some right here, which is the short liquidation, which basically means that if this drops down and the long, so let's say this long gets liquidated, it will probably put more sell pressure on the price because a lot of people are going to get liquidated, which means that their positions are going to be closed, which means they are out of their positions, which means that Bitcoin is going to be sold off to close that position, that the price will probably drop down. Now, the other way around is if a short liquidation happens, or like let's say the bulls are liquidating the bears, that will probably push up the price to the next level and then to the next level and the next level till we have an event where it will shift again, where the bears will win from the bulls, so the shorts will win from the longs, and then it's like a game. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down. But the liquidation heat map is a great tool, and so is the liquidation map, to see where we are right now in this spectrum, or in this little window right now, to have a small understanding, or to be able to understand where the price is going to go. Now, if you want to learn more about this, they actually have an explanation down here, so how traders can use it, which you probably are, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video. The liquidation heat map allows traders to identify areas of high liquidity, which can be useful in various ways. A magnet zone. Concentration of potential liquidation levels within a specific price range may indicate that the price is likely to move towards that zone. Some traders utilize these liquidation levels to gauge the possible direction of price movement and as additional indicators for convergence. Now we've got the support and resistance zone. In high liquidation areas, large traders or whales can execute trades rapidly at favorable prices. Once they enter or exit orders within this liquidity, the price can now reverse. And then furthermore, liquidation levels can exert significant pressure on either the buy or sell side of the order book, leading to a natural price reversal. So that's exactly what I've just explained to you, but you can read it down here again if you want to give you a better understanding of this tool. Now there's one more thing I want to address in this video, because I'm not sure if you noticed, but I definitely noticed some tokens perform better than other tokens, and sometimes tokens go against the market. So when Bitcoin is crashing, the token goes up. And then sometimes when BTC goes up, that token goes down. Now, one explanation is that money moves from one to another. It's being circulated, which means that people are taking profits in Bitcoin, then they are going to spend it in the mid-cap coins. And then once they've got some profits in the mid-cap coins, they're going to spend it in the lower cap coins. They're going to gamble a little bit more. And then once they've got some profits right there, they are going to use it to buy Bitcoin again. And that's like a circulation event that is happening, and that can help you understand how to move in these markets, right? It can also help you understand if you're looking for a narrative. So let's say AI or let's say GameFi. It always has this one big token, right? So we've got Bitcoin for all the crypto. We've got BitTensor for the AI one. We've got Immutable X for the GameFi one, for instance. And as soon as those main tokens are starting to move, you can bet on it that those mid-cap and low-cap tokens will move along with it. Now, once again, I'm not a registered financial advisor, so please take this with a pinch of salt, but this is what I've noticed in the markets. Let's open up Crypto Bubbles, and this looks a lot better, even though we have a red day right now and we basically have a red week. This looks a lot better because we can now see some of the tokens that are actually performing against the market. Now, obviously, Bitcoin has climbed up a little bit again. However, you see that Pepe has gone up 15.5%. We see Floki 8.1%, and those are all meme tokens. We see Arbitrum, that's not a meme token. We see Celestia, that's not a meme token. But we see that some of these are actually bouncing up quite nicely. Now, how can you use this to your advantage? If you have a red day, you can see which token holds up the best. And then when the market starts to come back again, you can also see which ones of these tokens are going up the quickest again. So for instance, one of those tokens is Solana, in my opinion. It's one of the tokens that kind of moves independently of the market. Obviously, it crashes alongside with it, but it still has its own plan. That's how I see Solana. And by using this Crypto Bubbles overview, that will allow you to write down a couple of projects and to keep an eye on them and to monitor them and to see what happens when the prices are crashing. And then once you figured out the pattern, you can use that to your advantage to decide whether or not you want to invest in one of those tokens. So you can decide whether or not you're going to go for a more safer place, or you're going for a little bit more risky place, or because you've seen that, hey, this token has dropped so much, it doesn't make sense, fundamentals are great, it shouldn't drop this much, it's probably due to the market, how it's working right now, so I'm going to invest in it. And then you watch the magic unfold when everything bounces back up again, because that token will bounce up even harder, you know? That's for the traders. If you're for the midterm or the long term, obviously it works a little bit different. You have a longer horizon that you're working with. You don't care about crashes from 5 to 10% every now and then. You just hold your bags and you sit it out, and maybe you add some, but you're not going to relate or circulate your tokens and money. So there you have it. These are the tools that you can use to decide whether or not you want to invest in crypto or Bitcoin right now. Let us know in the comment section down below what you're going to do. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Doei!